Are you happy that the whole Kevin Davies, Tom Cleverley situation is all sorted out now?
To be honest, I don't know what was to sort out. Kevin Davies made a challenge that was a free kick. There's no doubt about it, and he certainly never went into with any malice to hurt Tom Cleverley, who we wish a speedy recovery because he's an outstanding young player, and he picked up an injury on the back of it, and that was it. It happens up and down the country every game, and you know, is it because it was Manchester United who were the champions? I don't know. I mean, we just alluded to earlier that Stuart Holden's coming back after being injured since March, and I don't recall us. You know, the injury happened, and I said at the time there was certainly no intent. I thought that, you know, the referee gave the lad a red card. It was probably right, but I didn't think there was any malice in the challenge, and that was the same. There was no intent from Kevin to try and hurt the lad, and what he's had to deal with, I think there's no doubt for me, it's maybe well over the top. But Kevin, being the lad he is, I mean, he'd phoned Tom on Saturday night to make sure that it was going to be okay, because that's always a concern. I mean, these players, they know the demands of the Barclays Premier League, and they don't want to see their colleagues, or, you know, they don't want to see anybody injured. None of us want that. If there's something that we think is reckless and dangerous, then of course let's stamp that out and make sure that we sort that out. But there will be challenges that happen up and down the country that they're mistimed, whatever, but not malicious. And Kevin Davies he's a consummate professional. He's not got a bad bone in his body. He's physical, he's powerful. He probably gets hit more than anybody else, but he gets up and gets on with it, and that's just the type of lad he is. So from our point of view at Bolton Wanderers, we wish the lad a speedy recovery, but it was a mistimed challenge, and that's all it was.
Were you disappointed therefore when Alex Ferguson was asked about it, and he used the phrase "you expect that" when he was?
Well, I mean, we've all got our own opinions, our own take on it. I mean, I just look after Bolton Wanderers. That's my job to do that. How everybody else, you know, does theirs, that's up to them. I don't have a problem with that. But as I said before, I was always will stand by my players at Bolton Wanderers, and as I say, look to make sure that I'm doing my job for my football club, and that's why we're having this chat just now.
Do you feel in a more positive frame of mind now because you had a successful transfer window, so you have the option that if you want to make changes to the side, there are players there, more players at your disposal now?
Well, I think what we have now, we have strength and depth, which we've not had certainly since coming to the football club. That being said as well, we've obviously got some horrendous injuries ourselves, as you know, with the two lads, Tyrone Mears and Chung Young Lee, that broke their legs. Marcus Alonso fractured his foot in the Carling Cup. So we've had real injury concerns to deal with, but you're right, we managed to bring the three lads in just prior to the window, and Davy and Gog, Dedrick Boyata and Gail Kakuta. So that gives us, competition for places, which any manager at any club wants, and so we'll look at that and look to pick the best team possible to go and try and win, as I say, a very tough game against a Norwich side led by a terrific manager and a great lad in Paul Lambert.